Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Range. Today we'll be talking about some string methods and we'll be building a game called Madlibs, which takes some user inputs and then generates a story based on those inputs. So to begin with, we will be talking about the upper method, which is used in Python to convert every character to the uppercase, not the signs, but the alphabet, let's call it like that. So if we run the code, we should get hello Pythoneers all in uppercase. As you can see, the string we had here, it turned into the string with all uppercase letters. So in order to use that, you should just get your string and then put a comma, put a dot and then call the upper method like that with a parentheses. So coming next up is the lower method. As you can guess, this is the same as the upper method, but the thing that it does, it takes all the characters inside of a string and turns them into lowercase. So as you can see here, we had H and pi in uppercase. Now it is all in lowercase. If we write, for example, in like that, and if we save and run that again, as you can see, we get the same result. All of the letters are turned to lowercase. Coming to the next method, we have here strip method, which takes a string and strips the white space before and after the string. For example, if we write here something else, let me first uncomment that line and run this example for you to see what happens here. So we had here about 2 white spaces before our hello and 2 white spaces after our exclamation mark. So, but we get here the stripped version of it, like we get hello Pythoneers in the result section in our console. But the thing is that it does not delete the white spaces inside of the string from the first character to the last character. It does not delete any white spaces between. If I add some white spaces here, or if I add white spaces after Pythoneers, it will not delete those lines. As you can see, it just prints it as it is, but it strips white spaces before and after our main string. Coming next up is our replace method. Replace method is used like that. You call the replace method, opening up parentheses. Then we add the expression that we want to change, that we want to replace. And after the comma, we add the new expression which we want the first expression to be changed to. For example, here we are replacing Pythoneers with Pythonistas. So if I run this, you should get not hello Pythoneers, but hello Pythonistas. Python is easier because it is more closer to English. You can understand the code by just reading the lines. So we say print to the console, then we access our string which has been declared beforehand, then we call the replace method. We add the line we want to replace, and then we add the new line that we want to replace with. So this goes as well. Then there is the split method. What split method does, it is kind of a method that takes a string. It can be used with other things as well, but we'll be talking about strings today. So it takes a string and there is that thing called delimiter. So if you add some symbols between the double quotes inside of the parentheses of split method, the Python will give us a new string or a line of strings, a set of strings that are split by commas. For example, we have here a comma. Our string will be separated by commas and a new string will be given to us, a list of new strings. Here you can see we had only one string, hello, comma, Pythoneers, comma, Pythonistas, and developers. But now we have, in our result, we have a list of strings which are separated by commas. This is the specific function of the list. The elements are separated by commas. This should not be confused by these commas because here we have three separate strings. You can see that. Hello, we have Pythoneers with white space because we have white space after the comma. Then we have Pythonistas and developers in one string because there is not a comma between those two different words, but you can see that there is one white space got here because of that comma is placed after Pythoneers. You can add white spaces as well. For example, if we run it like that, if we run it like that, we will get a new list of strings which are separated only by white spaces. You can see that. Now we have a new string which is hello, comma. Then we got the white space which Python splits into new string. Then we have Pythoneers, comma. Then again we have white space, then comes Pythonistas, then again white space, and again white space, and then developers. For example, as you can see here, if you put only white space here, the split method will return new strings split by this special character. The character you put inside of single quotes or double quotes, it really doesn't matter that much. As you can see, we get the same result. So after the split method, we have string concatenation. In Python, in order to concatenate two strings, we use the plus sign. Here we declare first a string. We call it first part because it will be the first part of our main string. We declare a string. We assign hello to it. Then we have second part. We assign everyone, and then last part. As you can see, when you see that code, you guess it that it will print out hello everyone with that mark. But then, in order to print them together, in order to make them into one string, we should use string concatenation. As I said before, we use plus sign in order to concatenate strings. In other words, in order to combine the strings. Then we declare our main string, and then we add all these strings together to make one string, and then we print it to the output. So let's see what we get. As you can see, we get like all these strings put together. Hello everyone with that mark. The reason is that there is no white space around the words, is that we have not put any here. For example, if you want to print it in a normal way, we should add white spaces here. We get this result. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't need that one here. Actually, yeah, we get this result. You can add that white space here as well. Oh, here as well. I'm just rushing a bit. You can see that the same result. When we use concatenation method, we should add white spaces by ourselves. You can add white space even here when you concatenate strings. For example, if I want to print the same result, I can add white space here. After our hello, we add a white space, then we add the second part and the last part. So, coming next up is string formatting. This is so useful, and we'll be using here we have three methods, actually two methods, but the format method has two versions. So first up is using the plus operator, meaning concatenating strings together. We declare some variables and assign some values to it. For example, we have name, we have John as a name, and then we declared my string and we put the line here, my name is, with a white space plus name. This will give us a new string, and because of the concatenation, because of the adding strings, the name variable will be printed out in that line as in my string. So this is the first variant of formatting strings. If you want to print out some values of, for example, if it's a coffee shop and you want to print out the coffee product with its quality and quantity, you can use that operator, and with the variables itself, you can use that method in those programs. The next version is using the format method. This is the built-in function, the built-in method in Python, which takes a string. Actually, you call that method on a string, and then you add the variable here where you want to change. Like, for example, we have name again, John as a name. Then we have this string, this special string. Here you can see curly braces. This is not printed like curly braces to the console. Actually, what it does here, it is a placeholder for this variable to be put inside of these and to be printed out to the console. We will see that in a minute. As I said, we call my string. We call the format method on my string. We write dot and we write format, and we add the variable which we want to put inside of these curly braces here. And if we try to run that file, we will get the result as we did here. My name is John. For example, if I add another, I add a new variable called age, and I give, let's say 25, and I say like my name is this, comma, and I am this year old. Name and age. Let us run the file, and you can see that we have two sets of curly braces in our string, and we have two variables. And when we call the format method, we add variables in a line, and actually there is an order here. You can see that here we have the string. My name is John, and I'm 25 years old. I'm sorry, 25 years old. I'm 25 years old. If you write age here and then name here, it will produce a funny result. My name is 25 and I'm John years old. In order not to confuse that, you should always put here some indices to remind you that the first curly braces will get a name. So we add name here. Then I am something years old, so we should add age here. And you can have as long, like how many curly braces you want, you can add it here. Then you can access it with the format method. It will work as intended. So the next version is the is called the f string. This is the format method, but a bit shorter version of that. We have again, we have John, we have age, and we have city. We have London as a city, and then we have the print function. I will do it like that. This is the same. This is on a one line. There is no like enter here. It is just a one line. So if we put f in front of a string that we want to format, and then we write our string, then we open up our curly braces. You can remember from here that we add curly braces for our variables, for these are placeholders for our variables. So, but here what we do is when we open up a curly brace, we add the variable we want to put here right away. Like I want name to be here, I open up curly brace, I write name, and I close it again. The trick behind that magic is that F letter before the string. It tells the interpreter to know that this string will be formatted, and all of these curly braces are placeholders for these variables. So if we run this file, we will get my name is John. Here you can see we had John as a name. Then I am 24 years old. Here, as you can see, we have age. And then I'm from London. Pretty easy, right? Then what we have? Actually, this was all about strings. Today I wanted to talk about this. Now we will be talking about Python Madlibs. What is Madlibs? Madlibs is a game that it asks user for some input. It can be name, it can be adjective, adverbs, verbs, places, anything you can imagine. You take a story and you take some points of that story, some words from the story, and let the user change it. User give those words in order to produce a new story based on the user's choices. For example, but before that, I should talk about input method. What input does and how to use it. Input. What input does is it takes the user input from the console right away. For example, let me have a new program here. For example, we can write name equals input. Input, as you can see, is consists of the word input and parentheses. And if you write here, if you put double quotes or single quotes, it is up to you. If you're gonna use some special characters, double quotes is preferred. If you put double quotes and then write something to it, like for example, enter your name. Oh. It will print this out to the console and then wait for the user input. Then it will go to the next line. If we have print, for example, let's use f string, the one we have learned recently. Hello, for example, name. If we run this file, we'll get the program will ask an input, it will prompt an input from us. Enter your name. For example, I don't know, let's write Dennis. If you press enter, we'll get the next line like hello Dennis. This line printed out. But if you don't put double quotes here, and if you decide to write it like that, print enter your name. And if you run that file, so you can see that we have this line printed out because this is our third line that interpreter compiles and runs. Then programs goes to the next line, and here asks for user input ns. It is the same, but the thing is that when you don't put that inside of, like, on that line, it won't look good. Actually, to me it doesn't look good. Here you can see enter your name, and it is on the same line. Whatever you write, it will be on the same line. It will not have any additional lines here as this one. So this was all about the input method. Alright, to our Madlib, we have here our variables that we prompt from user: name, city, time of the day, weather, food, verb, place, natural place, adjective, and adverb. We all like all of these variables, these words are prompted from the user. The user will decide whether it is windy or cold or nighttime or midnight and so on and so forth. Then we add all of these input here on our main story. We use an f string, as I've explained before. Then we add all of these variables inside of our main string, main story. We have weather, we have time of the day, so we say it was a, for example, sunny evening, morning. It is all based on the user itself. You can see here we have lots of curly braces and lots of variables put inside of those curly braces, and these are parts of our story, and these are placeholders for our variables, for our values that our user will choose. Let's run the file and see what we get. Let me just, yeah. Enter your character's name. Let's write, we all use John because maybe all of the developers use John Doe. I don't know why, but it is actually hard-coded to our mind. Let's use another name. Let's use Alex. Enter the city where events take place. For example, Amsterdam. Enter the time of the day, midnight. Weather options, icy. Enter the type of food, ice cream, why not? Enter a verb, run. Enter place, tennis court. Enter natural place. Amsterdam has forest. I don't know. Let's see. Enter an adjective. Awesome. Adverb, peacefully. Yes, we have our main story here. So let's read. It was an icy midnight in Amsterdam where Alex opened his eyes. All of a sudden, Alex desired some awesome ice cream because of icy weather. Such a smart boy. Alex went on a quest to fetch ice cream in Amsterdam. After Alex got the ice cream, he ran on, this can be changed. Tennis court to enjoy awesome icy cream while gazing at the sea peacefully. You can write this code on your own, or I might leave some links to a place where you can download these codes as well. But here is our main program. This is maybe your first game, or this is the first Python game that we made together in this channel. There will be lots of games in this channel, not 3D games so soon, but games based on Python, these kind of games, the console games where user is prompted of some questions, and based on those questions our game does something. There are actually lots of games like that, and I'm thinking of sharing such kind of a playlist sooner. So in order not to lose, in order not to stay behind of the progress, subscribe to our channel and give a like and write down your opinions on our videos on the comment section. If you have another opinions, if you have a topic that you would like to learn, if you have some other questions, just feel free to write down on the comment section. I will try to get to you as soon as possible, and I will try to explain your questions on a video. Thank you so much, and see you soon.